Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. For today's video, we've got a really exciting EV battery focused company for you. The name is Power Metals Corp. There's a lot going on at this organization and we're going to get into that in today's video. Before we do though, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a huge help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join. And let me know in the comment section below if you're currently holding shares of Power Metals, your thoughts on this space, and outlook for the sector in 2024. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Power Metals Corporation, trades on the Venture Exchange here in Canada under the ticker PWM, also trades on the OTC in the United States under the ticker symbol PWRMF. Now the mining and exploration sector has definitely started to see a lot of additional interest and attention from the investment community over the last couple of weeks as we're seeing the underlying price in a lot of these commodities really improve quite substantially. You can see Power Metals is no exception, up 16% on Friday's session. This is as of close on April 5th to close out at 42.5 cents Canadian. And if we zoom out to a 6-month chart, you can see that this has really been the extension of a strong trend that started at the start of February, really bouncing off the lows we saw at around 22 cents and reaching a high of 47 cents on the 2nd of April. Now, current market cap on Power Metals is right around $62 million Canadian. And if we jump over to the corporate website, we can see the company itself is focused on exploring and developing for cesium, lithium, and tantalum. Now, cesium is an extremely rare and expensive material with a variety of applications, including atomic clocks, glass protection, vacuum tubes. Obviously, lithium we know is used a lot in electric vehicle batteries, storage systems, and charging. And tantalum is used primarily in the production of electronic components. And that's what combines to give us Power Metals. Now, as we continue to scroll down, you can see Power Metals Corp is one of Canada's premier mining companies with a mandate to explore and develop its cesium, lithium, and tantalum assets in Canada. We see an unprecedented opportunity in expanding our cesium discovery for the undersupplied global marketplace. Now, the other thing I quickly wanted to talk about before we get into some of this company's projects is just the amount of news that's come out in relation to Power Metals over the last few months. You can see 5 days ago, they just put out a press release talking about the exploration drilling intercepts. 19 days ago was the acquisition of new ground at the Pelleter Project. And then last month, we had the mobilization of a drilling rig to Case Lake, along with the engagement of Major Drilling for their winter 2024 drill program. So definitely a lot going on at this organization and a lot of catalysts in terms of news and press releases that have been coming out on a consistent basis. Now, if we jump over to the project section on the website, you can see it's broken down into 4 sections here. Case Lake, which we just referred to, Delelis, Mazarak, and the Pelleter Project, and then goes on to give additional detail about each one of the projects on the corporate website. Now you can see at Case Lake, in addition to the lithium potential at this location, Power Metals has received significant interest in the cesium mineralization discovered in the West Joe area back in August of 2018. And a little bit further down, you can see cesium is considered rare globally. The United States Department of the Interior included lithium, cesium, and tantalum on one of its list of critical minerals. These commodities qualify as critical minerals because each of them has identified as a non-fuel mineral or mineral material that is essential to the economic and national security of the United States. And we've talked about that a lot in terms of the United States and Canada trying to onshore a lot of the production and sourcing of these critical minerals. Now, with that being said, I wanted to shift gears, move into the investor presentation. This is a great map talking about the opportunity in front of Power Metals Corp and showing the various different projects, again, located all here in Canada between the provinces of Ontario and Quebec. You can see the Pelleter Project, Case Lake Project, both located in Ontario, and then of course the Delelis and the Mazarak Project in the province of Quebec. Now in both situations here, these are considered Tier 1 jurisdictions with all 4 projects strategically located next to rail, hydropower, and existing infrastructure. There's high-grade lithium and cesium that's been identified at their advanced exploration project at Case Lake, which we just talked about, with over 15,000 meters of drill results already completed. The board of directors and management team at Power Metals Corp have a long history in this space, extremely well connected, and a ton of experience in various different jurisdictions, plus 100% ownership, strong financial position, and robust retail holders or investors, as we'll see later in the presentation. So a number of reasons to get excited about Power Metals and potentially add this one to your watch list. Now, I just mentioned the board and management. The CEO, Hayden Daxter, has over 20 years of experience in exploration and mining across Australia, Africa, and Canada. So when I mentioned multiple jurisdictions, that's exactly what we're talking about. He's a geologist by trade with a vast background and has really assembled quite an all-star cast around him to support the vision, growth, and goals at Power Metals Corp. Now, a little bit earlier, I mentioned the push from Canada and the United States to really source and develop a lot of these critical metals and materials here in North America. This is a great chart that shows all of the various different activity as it relates to EV vehicles and EV battery initiatives in North America, really ranging from Tesla to Panasonic, Toyota, Ford, Samsung. You can see why there's so much demand for these types of materials and metals, and this is not expected to slow down anytime soon as we're seeing more EV adoption and the rollout of a variety of new technologies that really require these inputs. Now, they then go on to give some additional details about the Case Lake project itself, which again is an advanced stage exploration with drilling to continue as they unlock the potential of this location, along with very high-grade results to date. Now, from there, they go on to give additional details about the mineralization trends they've seen at Case Lake, and then do a very similar breakdown for the other projects, including again the Pelleter Project, which represents a total surface area of about 7,000 hectares. The Delelis Project, which is about 669 claims, just north of 38,000 hectares. And of course, Mazarac, again located in Quebec, which is 259 claims, covering over 14,700 hectares. And this one was actually a fairly recent acquisition, which they picked up off Winsome Resources in 2023. So again, I would encourage you guys to go in and take a closer look at each one of their projects, some of the results and the drilling activity that's happened to date, especially if you're looking to start your own due diligence on this organization. Now, this is where it gets really exciting. So if we start talking about the 2024 exploration, you can see March, they were really finishing up some of that winter drilling activity. April and May, so where we are now, this is where we're going to start seeing the assay results. So the first results are expected towards the second half of April from the main zone. The second round is expected towards the end of April with that focus on the West Joe area. And again, on the Case Lake map, you can see both the main zone and the West Joe locations. And from there, as we move into the summer months, they're starting their field program. So this is going to include soil sampling at Delelis and the Mazarac projects, access and field review at the Pelleter Project, and developing a geological understanding at each property to really identify what they're sitting on in terms of their portfolio. Now, as we move into June and August of this year, you're going to see the summer drilling commence at Case Lake. So they've got 4,000 meters of targeted drilling focused on the main, east, and west Joe locations, and continuing to test their geological model at Case Lake. So for those reasons, you guys, I definitely think Power Metals Corp is worth a closer look if you're looking for exposure to the EV battery, EV metals space. They've got growth on the horizon with these quality hard rock lithium projects located in a very friendly mining jurisdiction, which is of course Canada. Over 15,000 meters drilled to date at Case Lake, along with a focus on developing that cesium capacity. We just talked about the Tier 1 jurisdictions, provinces of Ontario and Quebec, year-round access to all 4 sites, including existing infrastructure, electricity, and transportation. We just walked through their strategy and outlook for 2024 with a number of key catalysts on the horizon, and that experienced leadership team and board of directors that we mentioned a little bit earlier. Now, if you're still watching the video at this point, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below on Power Metals Corp, especially if you're already holding shares. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. And if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to join. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.